Good morning, class. My name is Jim. I'm from Canada, and I'll be giving you a lesson based on the story that you just read. Now, class, do you remember which book, the title of the book, and the actual author of the book that you just read? What was the name of the book? Yes, I Was a Rat by Philip Pullman. First of all, we're going to go through vocabulary activities. So we have about 10 or 11, 12 different vocabulary words, and we're just going to go through them. Maybe some of the words might be a little difficult. Cobbling. Have you ever heard of that word before? Yes. It's the act of making or repairing shoes. It's a very old-fashioned word. Are you familiar with the word errand? Errand is a short trip taken to do or get something, especially for someone else. There's another word that you might not know that is reluctant, showing doubt or unwillingness. If you're reluctant to wake up early in the morning to do chores or washing the dishes or making breakfast in the morning, something that you might not feel very, very energetic or enthusiastic about doing. And tattered, which means torn in shreds or ragged. All right. So as we move along, we're going to take a look at matching definitions. We have here fiance, tattered, distressed, scourge, startle, and vivid. So, which of these six words would you consider a condition of danger or desperate need? That's right, distress. How about what is torn in shreds or ragged? That would be tattered as well. And to frighten suddenly, usually, but not seriously? Yes, startle. Now, maybe if your friend suddenly taps you on the shoulder when you're sleeping, you might feel startled. So forth. All right. So let's see if we can replace each bolded word in the following sentences with another synonym. So these are multiple choice questions. First question: in service, said Bob, that means being someone's servant. Have a master or mistress and run errands for them. So what word of the between A, B, and C and D would mean similar to errands? Tools, mistakes, pyramids, or tasks? Probably tasks. Task would be the best word to describe errands. Then we go on to number two. The boy tried to look at himself, but he was reluctant to leave the bowl. Yeah, reluctant means you don't really want to do it. That would be unwilling. We move on. The pillow was burnt open, and feathers lay like snow over the whole bed. Even Bob's old nightshirts laid in tattered strips around the thin little body on the mattress. Tattered. Think of the first letter T. That's right. Torn. Torn or tattered. Right. And we move on. Number four. See the word fidgeting. Fidgeting like this. You're not really able to stay in the same position. Maybe something's bothering you, something making you feel nervous. Fidgeting, tracing, filtering, yawning. That would be twitching. Right? Okay. Move on. We have definitions and sentences. So, for each highlighted word, uh, write a sentence using each word. So, she put it in front of the boy, and without a second's pause, he put his face right down into the bowl and began to guzzle it. So, guzzle, can you try acting it out? Not using spoons, not using forks or any utensils. Just a bowl of milk or cereal and just putting your face into it and drinking it all up. So, what kind of situation would you use guzzle? Over there? Yeah. How do you feel about that? Yeah. How would you use guzzle in a sentence? Maybe when you're playing soccer or baseball and you're so thirsty, you can't even wait. You need a, you're desperate for some cold water or some Gatorade or some Powerade or Pocari Sweat. You just guzzled the whole drink because you were so thirsty without regard for your other teammates. Okay. Remember the story, the part of the book, the story where uh, Roger, the boy, actually uh, tore all the bed sheets and the blankets? Joan said to him, "You shouldn't tear things up like that," she cried, and she took his thin little shoulders and shook him, not hard, but enough to startle him. So let's try to use the word startle. Class, how would you think about that? Startle. Yes. Okay. I was startled when my classmate suddenly poured cold water on me while I was napping in class. That's certain. Yeah, startled me. It just really, maybe in a little bit of a frightening way, but also just in a little, maybe with a little shock, a little bit of a just a very unexpected moment. Yeah. So let's try sentence completion here. The tattered carpet made the whole room look wet. Uh, maybe use some kind of simile, some kind of metaphor. Try to describe what the room might look like. Mm, made the whole room look like it was in a terrible mess. Or maybe you can use some kind of creative expression, such as the whole room looked very, very as if wild buffaloes had run over it. Think of that way as well. All right. So as we look at comprehension questions, who is Prince Richard marrying? And where did he meet him? Yeah. And can you give? I would like you guys to also um, make a page reference as to where you found the answer. Page 1, is that right? Yeah. He's marrying a lady by the name of Lady Aurelia Ashington. And where do they meet? Do they meet at a bar or a pub? Do they meet at a park? Or do they meet at an amusement park like Lotte World or Soland? They met at the Midsummer Ball. What is a ball? Is that a ball like a basketball or football? In the olden days, a ball was an old-fashioned word for party, where many people met for delicious food and dancing afterwards. All right. Who knocks on Bob and Joan's door? Right. Page 3. That's the reference. A little boy in tatters. Remember the word that we just learned? Tatters. In torn clothing. All right. What do they decide to call the boy? That's another. You look on the page. Yeah. First of all, what's the name that they decide to call him? Roger. Yeah. You ever heard of? You ever hear of Roger Rabbit? Well, maybe you guys were too young to remember, but back in the olden days, 20 years back or so, before you guys were born, there was a Disney character named Roger Rabbit. Okay. So finally, we're just going to finish off our class with discussion questions. Do you think Roger was really a rat? You know, the title of the story is called "I Was a Rat." Do you think he was a real a rat? I mean, this is not a rat. You guys know what this is? It's a zebra, right? Do you think Roger was really like an animal? Was he really like this? Even though this is not a rat, this is a zebra. But yeah, maybe he wasn't a rat physically, but there were characters about him that made him look like a rat. He was uh, in very, very tattered and very torn and dirty clothing. And, that's what you could describe as a rat. A true rat. Where do rats live? They live down in the ground, in the sewer, in the dirty waters. And living in that kind of environment, you'll you can imagine that rats in real life are very dirty. They carry a lot of diseases and germs. And I think in a very metaphorical way, in a way of describing him in an imaginary way, he was a boy, he was a human being, but he had characteristics of a rat. So, what is your impression of Bob and Joan? Do you think they're nice people? Why or why not? Right, were they nice or were they cruel? Were they bad or were they good? Well, yeah, they're nice. Yeah. So why do you think they're nice? Yeah. Well, the boy came at 10 p.m. Do you think you would open your door if somebody came, a stranger came and knocked at your door at 10 p.m. at night? Yeah, that would not be a very easy decision to make. And then not only did they open the door, but they let him in. Not only did they let him in, they even prepared him. Nice, what did they prepare for him? Nice warm bread and milk. That's right. Yeah. And what else did they do for him? They even let him sleep in their home for the night and gave him an empty room with clean sheets and a nice bed. So I think from based on those examples, you can see that they are really nice people. All right. And time is you know running out, but I want you guys to maybe look at the last question and and think about what the word scourge means. And why do you think the author names the town's paper the Daily Scourge? We're going to look at that question for next time. That can be maybe something you guys can think about and we'll take up at the beginning of next class. So, any comments, any questions, everyone? I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. And we're going to meet next week and we're going to continue on in the further in this book and see what will happen. Will Joan and Bob, will they, after they visited City Hall, are they going to take Roger in as a member of their family? Or are they going to try to maybe find another way to release Roger and find another home for him? Maybe another family who might be willing to take this little boy in. Thank you for your time and have a great week. Bye bye.